What's going on, guys? Here we go. So yesterday we started late. Today we got hurricane weather taking out our natural sunlight. So here we go. A little bit darker. It is what it is. Fitness and sport, part 1, 4 rounds, 15 slightly. And what do we mean by slightly bent over rows? We mean instead of like really challenging that low back, you're just going to barely bend it over, still pull it back, pull this thing up, going to work a whole bunch of that upper back. Then you got 140-foot prowler push, pushing down as fast as possible, bringing it back as quick as possible. Then a 200-foot stacked plate carry up against your body. Once you put down the plates, you take a 20-second rest to kind of refresh your body and muscles. Then you're gonna knock out 30 seconds, as many reps as possible push-ups. Blowing it up, getting as many as you can. Take you a full minute rest in between rounds. Part 2 is gonna be 3 rounds of 30 band curls, right? Blowing this thing up, and then 30 band tricep extensions. So you can either take it, spin it up overhead, or you can just take the time to throw it up over an upright, a pull-up bar, whatever, and blow it up that way. Rest is needed between rounds, like a muscle if you want it. Mobility majors, get it. Power and iron up. Part 1 is 3 to 4 rounds of 10 ring rows on a single ring. So both hands are on a single ring, a little bit tighter, pulling it in, right? And then after that, you're gonna do as many reps as possible, cable or banded seated rows to the chest, right? And so it's set up, you do blow this up, then you sit down, you're sitting down, and you can use either 1 band or 2, but pulling towards this chest region. One thing we don't want to do is we don't want to pull our shoulders forward. We want to roll this back as we pull, right? 40-second to a minute and a half rest between rounds. So this is going to warm up all that posterior musculature before you get ready to bench. Now you're going to go to part 2. It's going to be 4 rounds of 8 narrow grip, right? So bringing it in a little bit. Bench press at 55 to 60% of your 1 rep max. Then 12 seated swinging dumbbell front raises. So after your 8, you're seated on the bench, you rack it, you sit up, you grab your dumbbells, you're sitting in place, and you just get you like a little giddy up going on, right? For 12 of those things. You're really pulling with your delt, but you can use a little bit of body English just to keep it moving a little bit. Rest in a minute to a minute and a half between rounds. Picked that up from Donnie Thompson at a seminar like 2012, I want to say, right? Maybe 2011. It's a way to sneak in a little bit more volume, right, without it being kind of super stringent on the body. So you get done benching, why this is already a little fatigued, don't want to tear pecs, right? And we want strong anterior delts so that way we don't end up tearing up our shoulders. So right after you get done benching, now you get to sneak in a little bit of extra volume, if that makes sense, and adds up through time. Part 3 is going to be 3 to 4 rounds of 20 banded chest flies, right? So with the band chest flies, you can either just lay it around you can run it around the bottom of your pull-up bar, right? Or the easiest thing you can do for this is stand up and hook it to a rig, right? So we've done it laying on the bench. It can be done, but for this, it's easiest if you hook it to 2 uprights that are going in opposite directions and you pull to center line for that bad boy, right? Again, if you want to do it laying down, you can. If you don't have 2 uprights, that's up to you. Just lay on your bench, do what you can do. Then as many reps as possible, band pull apart. So if you got it set on 2 uprights and you're pulling it across you can do that. Or if you got 1 and you're laying on the bench, you sit up, you can take it, pull it apart that way, too easy. Lag and muscle if you want it, mobility majors, Huya, TDY, the dumbbells, y'all. 3 to 4 rounds of 10 heavy hammer curls, right? So right in place, 10 of those bad boys. Then as many reps as possible, bent over dumbbell rows to the chest, right? And so why would we say to the chest? Well, you could pull it to the hip, but we're going to the chest on this one, right? Part 2, 4 rounds, as many reps as possible, dumbbell bench press with dumbbells touching if you can. So you can either touch them this way or you can touch them this way. Either way, this is pretty difficult as well. You're going to get a good narrow grip press. 12 seated dumbbell swinging front raises, resting a minute to a minute and a half. Part 3, 20 dumbbell chest flies, as many reps as possible, dumbbell rear delt raises, rest 1 minute between rounds, lag and muscle if you want it, mobility majors. Booyah, guys, stay safe with the storm out there if you guys are anywhere in this hurricane's path, and have a great week. Booyah, never quit.